yesterday the worship service is over, and I'm standing at one of the doors, shaking hands with people, wishing them well, etc. And this one guy comes along and introduces himself, and he's a first-time visitor. And so I go into welcoming first-time visitor modes. I ask him where he's from, and he tells me they were in town for the Final Four, which seems exciting to me. And so I thought that's where the discussion would go. But he wanted to point out to me an error in our bulletin. It's not really what I wanted to talk about. But I had just finished preaching this message about waiting. And not so much waiting a length of time, but waiting as creating space for God to work in our lives. Because you and I can only do so much. And much of what we expect out of ourselves is really beyond our own ability. So for us to make room for God to work in our lives, we have to wait. We have to let God. I even said that much of what God does for us and in us, God does through other people. And yet, here's this man that wants to have a conversation, and I'm not ready to have the conversation he wants to have because I want to make the conversation about what I want the conversation to be about. Sometimes it's frustrating when I'm convicted of what I've just preached about. On the other hand, I don't think I'm the only one that gets into conversations with people and want the conversation to be about what I want the conversation to be about, even though sometimes we're really aware that the person we're talking to really wants, maybe needs the conversation to be about something else. So, as you and I become better followers of Jesus, how can we learn to be the kind of people who are sensitive to what other people need to talk about, so that we can listen to what someone else is actually saying and not needing to always make the conversation be about us? I'm going to pray that this week I can pay better attention to what other people need to say, and I expect in that I will make space in myself to be able to hear and receive what God needs to say to me.